Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for another episode of the Damn Podcast. I'm your host Corey, and joining me as usual are my co-hosts Nick,
Hello.
Justin,
Yo, guys.
and Jamar.
Hi.
And like usual, we're just gonna kind of hit what we're getting into right now. So I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14, unfortunately.
You're playing that a lot, Reese. Like everyone, like you, Andrew, Austin, and such, have been getting back, and even Ed, and Jenna have been getting back into playing more of it lately.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of everybody's in the mentality of prepping ahead of the expansion coming out this fall.
Yeah, I saw that expansion. Well, what's it called again? Like 5.5?
Endwalker.
Ah.
Endwalker, yeah. The patch 5.5 just came out. And that might be what you're thinking of, and it had the latest Nier raid into it, which I'm now realizing has a lot of nods to Nier Replicant for obvious marketing reasons, I'm sure.
Yeah, I heard about those Nier raids.
But yeah, I think that was the last Nier raid. It felt pretty conclusive, but maybe it'll keep going. I'm not sure.
I think it's probably gonna keep going.
They usually do 3 alliance raids, and then they say, "All right, we're done." We're done with this expansion's alliance raids, but we'll see. Genshin Impact maintenance. I've been just maintaining my my Prima gems.
The latest
keeping the account warm.
Have been really slow.
Keeping the account warm. It's been unbearably slow.
Yeah, like after like what was Rosaria the last big update? I think.
Yes.
I think that's the next.
Yeah, and it's like, and Rosaria, from what I've heard, is not a great.
I don't count characters as an update.
Yeah, I know that's the thing. It's just you just have one 4-star character who's considered not even that good.
Yeah, I mean, she's interesting, but I mean, like,
she has interesting design.
I'll play her for like 15-30 minutes. Like, okay, is that the new content? Is that it?
Yeah.
But next patch will have I think. I don't know.
Eula?
But well, the next we'll dig into it in the video games, but just to precede it a little bit, it's gonna have a housing update, so there's gonna be just a lot of stuff
that
to do.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, it's very in depth. But outside of Genshin, I've been watching a lot of the season's anime. I've been watching 86, of course. I've read the light novel to 86. And well, I've read a couple of the light novels, and I was looking forward to the adaptation, so I'm pretty stoked to see where it goes. And so far, it's been a pretty solid adaptation. There's a lot of stuff to convey, so I was like, I don't know if they can do it correctly or like in a way that's not going to confuse everybody, but they've done pretty good so far. I've been watching a little bit of like Vivi,
I've been meaning to get to that.
Yeah, I've watched 2-3 episodes. It's pretty good. It's
that's apparently is it like I know that's by the writer of ReZero, but I don't think it has like anything similar to ReZero in it. From what I've heard, it's basically more like that AI film with Haley Joel Osment.
Like Tsunami Good Save the World or something.
Yeah.
I haven't watched AI in so long that I don't know if I remember, but yeah, probably, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, people seem to like it, so
I'm sure there's another comparison I could make, but I'm not drawing anything. But
I think I saw Detroit Become Human.
Maybe Detroit Become Human would probably be a pretty accurate version, probably one of the more accurate ones, but because I mean you have like the whole like AI law that they have like to have a task or something.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. But it's pretty interesting, like pretty sneak peek into the future, you know.
Yeah, is what's animation good?
Yeah, I liked it.
That's good. Then.
It's pretty solid and consistent. So far, I mean, I've only watched up to episode 2, so it's like that's when they shell out the big dollars, keep everybody invested.
Yeah, that's definitely
Uh,
true. Yeah.
I've been watching the Spider Isekai show, which I believe is so I'm a spider, so what in English? I don't know what the Japanese is, but
The Japanese is too long. That's what
yeah.
that's what it is.
So I just say Spider Isekai, and everybody's like, oh, okay. But
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. That's what I say too.
It's been really surprisingly good. Once I stuck with it for a little bit, like around episode 6 or 7, it was like, whoa, okay.
Mhm.
Like it's got a unique storytelling perspective for an isekai. Um, I'm not gonna really spoil it, but it does like it does kind of like change perspectives to multiple characters throughout
So
the
would you
show.
Because the entire classroom and such were
Mhm.
isekai in that show.
see? I dropped it after episode 2. Is it actually worth trying it?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean,
I don't think anyone considers Spider Isekai a masterpiece. In part due to like the CG. The CG is terrible.
Yeah, the CG is pretty bad.
it kind of, I don't know if it got better or it grew on me. I think a little bit of both. It felt like it got better, but
I mean, the CG on the
CG?
spider itself, I
Yeah.
guess, is serviceable.
Yeah.
It was the creatures itself, like that the
Yeah.
spider was fighting, that were just
But
bad.
some kind of fluctuate between CG and so to where like it blurs the line a lot. I bared with it and I really ended up liking where the story went, and it has a unique storytelling approach or that hits around episode 6 or 7. I won't spoil what it is, but it's pretty cool.
I'll give it
Um,
a shot then.
Yeah, I would sit with it a little more, let it digest.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it since like episode 7.
It's real
or
rags
8.
to riches story, you know?
Yeah.
Start as a
so-
spider, become a better spider. I've been
Spider.
watching Joran.
Is that the assassin?
Snow and
show?
Blood Princess or whatever. Princess of Snow and Blood. Yeah, she's like an assassin for like the shogunate, I think. I think it's like the last remaining shogunate. Was it the shogunate before as the West was invading, they like
I'm
had
not very
the
familiar
like
with Japanese history.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of like I believe it's like the shogunate is trying to hang on to their power in their government, but the West is like interfering with the politics and funding rebellions and stuff like that, and this is like a secret society that works for them, like secret assassin people. It's pretty interesting, and it's got like supernatural elements in it. They fight like yokai and stuff, or people that turn into yokai.
That's one where the animation style changes during the fight.
Yeah.
That looked neat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's see where it goes. Mira, no, don't do that. Okay. That's pretty much all I've been doing. Oh wait, and I started Near Replicant, and that's why I'm tired. I started Near Replicant last night.
Yeah, that'll keep you up. I've seen a bit of gameplay of it, and I'm like, man, I do look forward to getting to that someday.
The gameplay's okay. I mean, it's your platinum gameplay, nothing too complex.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
I think
square and
it's a
triangle.
I say it's like a clunkier version of Nier Automata, which is not a bad thing. It just feels weird when there's so many other remakes that came out that they could have went a little bit more like how the Dark Soul. Yeah. Like, I mean, it plays like a PS2 game. I mean, PS3 game. But it's fine. It's what it was.
I think there's still some models they didn't touch up from PS3
Oh,
too,
God.
because like if you look at the villagers, you're like, oh shit. Ugh.
Oh, look at
Did they keep all the shitty side quests in that game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I started
okay,
those last night. I was like, oh god.
Oh god, yeah, I am looking forward to experiencing those.
It was like this one is like deliver this all the way to the top of this village without rolling or getting hit, and because it'll break, and they just throw enemies at you the whole way, and I'm like, this is awful.
We just had to enjoy those terrible side quests, didn't we?
But I mean, it's I mean, if you wanted more Nier, you've got it now. I don't. Did Keiichi Okabe do like the whole composition for the original?
I
have to
don't
look it up.
know the entire team behind Nier, so no idea.
Composer. 'Cause I was like, did they redo the composition? No, I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think he originally did it too. So I mean, it just feels like, I mean, a lot of the game just really puts you back in the Nier universe because you're just kind of hearing some of the same, you know, ballads and songs and hymns or whatever you want to call them that they sing in like a different language.
Yeah. Well, since I think Corey's done now, so let's get to what
Yeah,
I've
I'm
been
good.
doing.
I'm good.
So I'm over the last like few weeks I finished I started and finished Disco Elysium, the final cut, which it just got released,
Nice.
and oh my god, that game,
I
yeah,
love
that
that
game
game.
that game definitely lived up to the excitement people had for it. I loved Disco Elysium. Granted,
Sure.
I did not like some of the bugs introduced in Final Cut, like how you couldn't teleport on the third day. That was
Oh.
stupid. Yeah, and also there's a bug that causes your game to freeze if you don't approach a woman the right way.
Oh, that's
But-
not a bug. That's a feature.
A
In
feature
real
that
life.
was a feature that was introduced in Final Cut. Like if you I was approaching a woman who had an old lady who had my gun, but if you didn't click next to her to approach her, you just walked up to her with the directional keys. The game freezes.
I need to
It's
go
like-
back to it now that the final cut's out. I'll
Yeah.
probably just restart.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the Final Cut exclusive side quests though.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know how about I don't know. I did enjoy the full voice acting though, and yeah, man, I loved I loved once it took me a little while to adjust to the gameplay. Like I was like, how exactly am I supposed to play this game again? But once I realized, oh, you do all these side quests, and that all these side quests will eventually coalesce into the main plot. And I was like, oh, okay. So that because I knew it was a D&D style RPG. I just didn't realize, okay, what exactly am I supposed to do? And also, you know, one of the problems with the game is that the traveling the world is dog crap because of your slow walking
Yeah,
speed.
I thought there'd be like turn-based fights, you know, some of the other D&D-ish games like Baldur's
like
Gate
Baldur's Gate.
or
Baldur's
yeah,
Gate.
or,
No, this one is more the
Divinity,
pla-
but it's
yeah,
the
or
real
even-
combat's in the dialogue.
Or even Planescape Torment, because Planescape Torment, which is like the main inspiration,
Oh,
had
that's
had some combat, but no, I knew going into the game that it had no combat. It was basically D&D style thing.
Mhm.
Although I wasn't really sure how it was integrated, but like eventually I got the hang of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm just getting all this experience and blazing through so many side quests to throw a Molotov cocktail into some asshole's face. Yeah, and yeah, I absolutely love the game.
Like being able to like
it's-
punch children.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fun.
Though I had to get the stats for it. though.
Yeah.
Like a dialogue
Yeah,
option
that's
that you
fun.
can unlock is like, oh yes, no, or throw Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, basically.
Well, you had to. Well, Molotov cocktail is actually a secret achievement that you had to find.
It's like, hey man, fuck you, and you're kicking the balls option
Yeah.
or something. That's basically.
Yeah, I
the
know.
dialogue.
Disco. I know. Yeah, Disco. Yeah. Man, yeah, I really loved when all the side quests paid off. Although I did not like how I just drank one alcohol drink just to complete the side quest, and I get so much shit for it. It's like, okay, it's like, why? Okay, I just drank one so I could get the 30 experience points. Like,
Okay.
and I never drank again after that. You're giving me so much shit.
But you're no
Forever.
longer straight edge.
Yeah, doomed to go to hell because of your one alcohol.
I know that was that's a little stupid, but
Yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, I love that game.
it's definitely it's definitely like I could not as soon as I was playing it like halfway through, I put it as my favorite game of 2019 up there. Like I was like, goodbye Fire Emblem Three Houses, I've been meaning to kick you down there anyways. Bye bye. yeah, I've been meaning to kick Fire Emblem Three Houses down anyways because as much as I like Fire Emblem Three Houses, I did not want to. I did not want to make that my favorite game of that year. But there's still a few 2019 games I haven't played though, so maybe I'll go even further down. But yeah, Disco Elysium will be hard to beat. And in terms of other thing, after I finished Disco Elysium, I was trying a little bit of Lego City Undercover. It's fine. Not much to say about that. I kind of got inspired by it when I saw that people were comparing Cyberpunk to Lego City Undercover, and I was like, oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah. And right now I've been playing through some Bravely Default. Yeah, I'm like I'm at the fourth Earth Crystal now. I haven't gotten to the time looping stuff yet, and I just spent the last 2 hours grinding like 11 levels because because I was told at the point that I was a little under leveled for the game. So and then I found a great grinding spot to like grind job points and experience. Just by
Always
spam-
get freelancer up first. Always max freelancer.
Oh, max freelance. I got
For the
freelancer
JP
high-
boosts.
I got freelancer a decent one for Tiz. I haven't done it for the others.
Always max
Because-
out first.
Well, the thing about maxing jobs though is that takes so much JP though.
Yeah,
like-
but freelancer gives you passives too, like that you can equip that'll give you more JP for battle.
Oh. Okay,
Nice.
but I don't know how much grinding that would do because like
Yeah.
after level 7, it takes a long time.
Yeah, it does.
To,
I agree.
to grind like all that grinding only for job points only got me to like one level from level 8 from level 9 to 10.
I think it's easier in shit. What's the other one
Bravely
called?
Default 2 or
I
know-
was trying to say end layer, but I was like, that one's 2, right?
uh,
But yeah,
you
Bravely
mean-
Default 2.
Bravely Default 2 I know that
it's
it
easier.
has a lot. It's easy to get JP in that.
Yeah, so I just went. I tried to take everybody to 10 on freelancer early, just so I could have that JP increase to like 1.5 times.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I obviously wasn't aware of that, but
Yeah,
well,
so,
oh, now I am. Thank you, Corey.
no problem. Been doing this a
And
while.
I haven't really been and I haven't really been watching any of the current anime myself because I feel like after winter I needed a break. I did marathon the entirety of the new Higurashi, which was pretty interesting. Even if the first half was a little recycled, but with just one twist at the end. But yeah, it was an interesting addition to the Higurashi lore, and I'm kind of interested in the sequel in a few months. But so far, no anime I've watched has touched the majesticness that is Invincible. Okay, like a Western cartoon has beaten every anime I have seen in the last year. Honestly, I have seen a lot of anime I enjoyed over the last year, but none of them were as good as Invincible because Invincible is fucking awesome. Even if I mean the animation can be a little like meh at times, but the latest episode, the animation was like it's like if you it's just a great it's not like a deconstruction superhero show like The Boys. It's more of like your standard it's more like your standard superhero tale, except the superheroes are violent and so are the supervillains, and yeah, there'll be a lot of violent deaths in the
But
vein
I
of being
thought
a
that the
superhero.
network said that we don't want story-based action adventure.
Well, whatever network said that, it was a fucking lying.
The person that canceled like Teen Titans and like Young
Well,
Justice.
isn't
and
that
all
Cartoon
that
Network
stuff.
though? Because Invincible's an Amazon
Pretty
show.
much. That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. And and Invincible, I just surprised at how like great all the character writing is, and like how they incorporate how they use superheroes since that. And I know that the comics that it was written by the guy who wrote The Walking Dead, so Robert Kirkman, and this has been doing a really good job of like dealing with like what being a superhero means, and like It kind of reminds me, kind of like reminds me of Spider-Man, except less campy and more violent, you could say. And there's like all these superheroes who have their own struggles, and the first season's ending soon, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Yeah, and because I don't know if it's because of the Walking Dead stuff, but like they got some of the Walking Dead actors in it. Stephen Ewan voices the main character, and all that. I don't remember if there's anyone else. J.K. Simmons voices his dad though, so which prompted a lot of people to think he was J. Jonah Jameson and going, "Son, you are very a terrible superhero. You need to go and catch that Spider-Man right now." Yeah, I love J.K. Simmons. Yeah, and so yeah, those have been pretty much the main highlights of the of my weeks that aren't going into anything that is frankly none of your business. So, so how about you guys? Oh yeah, I mean there is the Demon Slayer movie coming out. That well, it came out already, but I will be seeing that in a few hours. So yeah, and that's all I've got to say. So who's next again?
Yeah, what about you, Jamar?
Oh, me or you?
You're
Yeah.
next on the list, so it's
Yeah.
so it's you, Jamar.
Oh, fine. Been playing a lot of Monster Hunter.
Ah,
I added another 40 hours to what is at 136 hours. Still a good game. Rampages are a lot easier when, of course, when you play with people. Got sister-in-law into it, and she's like, I don't like this game, and she put about 50 hours when she was here of just using pure hammer. So no, it's fun. I wish they finished the story. Apparently, the other half of the story's coming in DLC. Because it's weird, because you talk to villagers, they're like, the threat's not over yet. We need to do such and such. And it's like, but I can't do anything. I just keep killing the same couple of creatures. But no, game's good. I'm really curious how they're going to like upscale the graphics for the PC version. So that's going to be good.
Bold of you to assume there'll be an upscale at all.
Oh, they have to, please.
The same.
At least like a steady 60. I played the Resident Evil Castle demo, the Village demo this morning.
Ooh.
So I didn't realize it was like you got 30 minutes to play. So on my US account, I played it for like a couple of minutes, went to the bathroom, and then it's like, thank you for playing. And I'm like,
They did that
I'm
with 6, or they did that with 7. They did that with 7. You had to like do all the routes and look at a walkthrough and get it done before the 30-minute timer or whatever, or an hour timer.
Yeah. So I have a Japanese PSN account. I just loaded it up on my PlayStation, download the Japanese version, and finish it in 12 minutes. It's a good game. It's good. Enemies are very like tank spongy, bullet sponge. Like I probably put 30 bullets in one enemy and they didn't fall down.
Did you start as Ethan? Or is
Yep.
that a spoiler?
Mr.
Okay.
Winters.
Okay.
So it looks like it starts from when he gets captured from the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler.
Okay.
But you go through the same areas that you went through if you played the Maiden demo like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in his perspective, and you actually have actual combat. So that was pretty good. Like you, I started Nier on Friday, and 15 hours in, so
No, I'm not that
I would
far
say, no. But I would say it's okay. It's a decent remake. I'll call it a remaster more than a remake because
it's half sort of.
Yeah. But like when you compare it to like a couple of like past remakes that we've been getting,
it's not fair.
It feels kind of half-assed.
Yeah, I know. I totally get that. They would definitely wanted to put this out so more people can have the Taro verse.
Yes.
But I mean, my main problem so far is just pacing issues that were a glaring problem when it was out and just weren't really fixed. Like one of the first dungeons you go into sort of is just really really long segment with the same track looping, like the same OST track looping over and over and over as you like climb a tower, and I'm like, God, and like all the scenery looks the same. It's just the same scenery like regurgitated over and over and over, and you're like, please make it stop.
Yeah, it is like such a significant gap from when you saved in the bottom of the tower to when you actually get to the first boss fight.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
it
it felt like 30-45 minutes I was doing
I
that.
think so. And it was like, well, I'm not going to try to put my PS5 on sleep mode because that's always a crapshoot.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to like muscle through it. But like I said, it plays fine. It plays like Nier. So
Oh, I got it on PC, so I can say the PC port is not bad so far.
that's good.
I heard there was problems with newer graphics cards getting like frame rate throttles or something. Like if they had, one like the AMD enhancement or NVIDIA DLSS, whatever gives you the frame rate boost, that would give you
Oh,
trouble. I was
You
hearing
talking
something
about
about that.
resizable bar?
Yeah, I guess if that's an NVIDIA term for it.
Oh, that's for
But-
both of them.
Oh, okay. I think AMD calls it like AMD Enhance or iVision or something. I
think
don't know what they call it.
Direct access. So
But
it's
yeah,
supposed to
it
increase
was
frame
for
rate, but
some reason the increasing the frame rate made it worse for people, and they had to like fix it. But fix it in their GPU settings. But outside of that, I actually never had that problem. I just jumped right in. I had no frame rate issues, and it looks good. Yeah, I've been playing it on PC. I was gonna get it on PS4, but I called GameStop and they're like, "Oh no, we don't have any." I'm like, "Okay, buy it on Steam, done." I'm like, "Okay, you lost business. I'm sorry."
but you didn't pre-order any other games coming out?
I don't pre-order. I'm probably gonna get Returnal as soon as it comes out. That's probably the only
Yeah.
game I'm looking forward to right now.
Yeah, that game looks interesting.
Yeah.
Since it was announced, I thought it was a cool setting, so I might
It's
pick
like
that up.
it's like is it inspired by like Alan Wake or
I
something
don't-
like that? It's like some horror thing.
It might be inspired by it, but I'm pretty positive it's not the same team.
I know it's not the same team, but I was just like it's like has
It
some-
looks sci-fi to me.
Yeah, I know it is sci-fi. I thought it was inspired by like some horror thing, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I couldn't find any information on it, so I was like, maybe I heard wrong.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been watching Full Dive. That weird. Is it? No, it's not really Isekai. It's the guy that goes into a game, a VR game, and everything goes.
that
yeah.
anime. I remember.
Yeah, and everything goes horribly wrong.
Is it worth it? I watched the first episode in the group watch, but I was like,
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Only thing I've seen continuing from that show is that people like to meme the big boob fairy because he kind of looks like Amelia from ReZero.
Yeah, she totally does. I don't know. I'm gonna give it another episode. It's not bad. I just like how he still tries to compensate on this terrible game. And he's like, well, I got nothing else better to do with my life. Everybody calls me a loser because I still play video games as a teenager. And watching give me a second, pull it up. The World Ends With You, the animation. Like most video game animations, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what to tell of like the monsters. Like, I get what they were trying to like emulate what was in the game, but it's like still just glitchy and like not like good like frame rate of them.
Yeah, it runs it's like 15 frames during the fights.
Oh, they're supposed to look glitchy. That's how they were designed.
Like, if that was the intention, but like still you could make it like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm just watching, just trying to get a recap on the story because I never finished the Switch port because that was pretty bad.
I never finished the DS one because the grinding was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was a little annoying. Yeah, but I did finish the DS version though.
I
got
finished the DS
really
version. I
far.
didn't do the second playthrough.
Yeah.
Nah, I was not interested in the second playthrough. Like, I like. I did like when Joshua got fucking powerful though, so he could just like. Yeah, that caused me to like speed through his section, but yeah.
Yeah. No, terrible game, but I like the concept of it.
Well, I don't think the gameplay's terrible, at least for its time. It was.
No, that's pretty bad.
I think.
It's
Are you
just
talking about
okay.
this? Or are you talking about the Switch version? Because I think I think it worked fine for the DS.
Yeah, it worked fine, but it wasn't like the most engaging game.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the music, the artwork, that was still cool, but it was just like, all right, I gotta get through these battles to see what happens next.
Yeah, I'm really curious where the like Neo one that's coming out this summer, how that's gonna go, because it's like designed.
I
for
think
the
they changed the
Switch.
gameplay, didn't
Yeah,
they?
it kind of follows
Yeah.
like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy
Mm.
15, so
Like your other teammates, but your other teammates are like still there, also battling at the same time. So will you be
I guess.
controlling?
Yeah, that does sound a lot like Final Fantasy 15 in that case. I just hope your
Yeah.
mag doesn't do friendly fire like in Final Fantasy 15.
yeah, other than that, I got into bike riding because I'm like, probably should get outside and get some exercise, especially being fully immune or vaccinated from the COVIDs.
Mhm.
So picked up a bicycle and realized riding a bicycle hurts.
It does,
It-
yeah.
yeah. But it's fun. So
Cool.
Yeah, I've been doing some exercycle stuff myself lately.
that's good. So I'll pass it to you, Nick.
Oh yeah. By the way, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that I did watch the new Mortal Kombat film last night, and it was very meh.
So
Like-
basically, Mortal Kombat movies.
Like they crammed all the interesting fights at the end of the film, and that's pretty much like that. That pretty much says all you need to know.
How was the fatalities? That's going to be.
When they showed up, they were cool.
So
all
would
right.
it be better? Last question: better or worse than the original Mortal Kombat movie?
Definitely better. Yeah, characters are a little. I mean, the violence alone kind of makes it better. And Scorpion is and Sub Zero still badass. So yeah. And anyways, Nick, your turn.
Yeah, so I've actually also been, well, still trying to learn. I got a skateboard, a little penny board, that's trying to keep me active and all too. It maybe it also has to go with I've been almost finished watching through Skate Infinity as well. I think most everyone has already finished that, but I'm watching it with well then Kayla too, because she's like, oh, the dub is really great. You gotta watch the dub, and it's not fully dubbed yet on Funimation, but it's pretty good. I have been enjoying that. And then Infinity Train Book 4 dropped all on one day with HBO Max, and it was good, but it's like a prequel to the previous. They're all kind of mini series, but this one really didn't give as much like backstory. And from what I remember before, the creators were like, yeah, they didn't really tell us that like this was going to be the last one, so we didn't really get to wrap up the story like how we wanted to. It turns out there's going to be like actually a campaign to save the show again. I feel like we had to do this after book 3 though too. But so coming up on April 29th, there's going to be like a big hashtag Twitter thing to Cartoon Network and HBO Max to save Infinity Train again. Hopefully, maybe it'll like it's a really good show, and especially for Western animation sort of stuff like Justin was talking about. It's one of these like story driven. There's a lot of mystery and stuff, and I've really been enjoying it. But the ratings, maybe I don't know, the viewership just hasn't been there to guarantee it. So I don't know, maybe more people. You gotta go out and watch it, guys. But then yeah, keeping up with the World Ends with You again. I'm still trying to figure out if that's going to deviate from the original. It's probably not going to deviate from the story of the games, but I'm wondering if they're going to throw in like, oh, and then also this other character from the weird DLC from the Switch, the other Girl Reaper will show up, or some other hints or something about the game coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
so
don't know. I think they
uh,
probably just go
something
play
that-
it safe. It's the
Yeah.
easiest way.
That's possible. And then I was able to, so small backstory. Back 2 years ago, at oh gosh, what anime convention? It was one of the conventions that was in Dallas. They were actually showing some episodes of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll really be interested in that, but there was kind of like a lull in the schedule, so it's like, okay, I'll sit and see that, and it just really captured me. It was a show from like the '80s or something, but very good, like just plot and characters and everything. And but I found out it's over 100 episodes long.
Yeah.
I think a lot
to
of
get through all
people
of it.
watching anime in the 80s would say that's like greatest of all time. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
can't
mean,
blame
it's
them.
really good. Like the story, like the interaction with characters. It's a really good show,
Yeah.
but it's a lot to digest now.
Yeah.
I literally like wrote down a quote by like the one guy said about like dictatorships and stuff. It explores a lot of different politics and
Oh, you're talking about Legend of
and
Galactic
all this
Heroes
stuff.
now?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So recently they've remade it then because maybe some of the animation from the '80s not the best.
It wasn't it wasn't well animated even back then. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That animation was ass.
So there's been a remake, Die These Nine. Oh gosh, it's German.
Let's just call it the Legend of Galactic Heroes
Mhm.
remake because who the fuck cares?
Die Neue These, sure. So it's been like, but it's not finished. I guess there's 24 episodes of it currently, but that only covers in the first arc. So it seems like I don't know why I thought it was gonna be like they're gonna condense 100 episodes into.
No, there's no
episodes.
way they're gonna do
Why did I
that.
think that? I don't know, but that's so yeah, I guess maybe
Like
I
they
should
want to
go back
turn
to the
Legend of
80s
Galactic
show.
Heroes into the Promised Neverland season 2, aka or Tokyo
Right.
Ghoul
We know how that
aka
goes.
I don't know. There's been a lot of those lately.
It seems like there were some plot points that they skipped over, maybe just in the earlier episodes. Maybe they weren't as needed, just from what I saw at the
Oh yeah, I don't think the
convention.
Julius Caesar
Right.
scene was in the remake, but it's not like they're going for like a 100% remake anyway.
But I definitely enjoyed it. It's got good, the space laser combat and stuff. I mean, there's, maybe it's not all that accurate. Like, there shouldn't be any sound in space. So
Also,
it's
my god, the bad guys
I
that
enjoyed it.
the bad guys that Reinhardt and Yang Wen Li have to fight are so fucking stupid.
They do like.
Yeah, they,
I
like
feel like it's sort of accurate though too. Like just medieval like princes and these people,
Yeah.
they just get so like drunk with power and all.
one of the
this.
one of the big criticisms of that show that people have like found out about Legend of Galactic Heroes is that Yang Wen Li and Reinhardt win because their enemies are dumb. So it's like
There's a lot of like they kind of win every battle that they're in. So it's not like
Yeah.
as dramatic tension, but it's still the way that they do
Yeah.
the fights is still
yeah,
also
like
very
it's not like
interesting.
like how with Gias, Lelouch, and his family were kind of like neck and neck. Although
But
to
if
be
you like-
well, neck and neck until like something bullshit happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
because
definitely a lot of like twists and turns that come on, but it reminded me of like it's Fire Emblem in space. If you like random fights and like really good characters that you're recruiting into your team. There's even someone named Reinhardt. Like it just makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. It's ready to jump into the news.
If you do that, I'll be right back.
yeah, so yeah, you talked about like I saw sorry I left, but like there's a campaign to finish Infinity Train now. I had no idea.
It's the same. I actually just saw that this morning, as it turns out. Because like they kind of let out the creators before the season 4 came out. That was like, yeah, we're gonna put everything that we can into season 4, but it's not like gonna be the end of the story. It's not gonna explain all the mysteries. So and then they kind of told us that like, oh, we ran out of budget for it, or we ran out of like licensing. So now they're trying to save it and make a season 5. I don't know where that's gonna go, but that's the new campaign that they put out on
Okay,
Twitter.
all
to
right.
try to everyone text HBO Max or Twitter HBO Max.
Yeah.
So that's most recent breaking news. I don't know as of this
Yeah.
morning on Sunday. But then something else interesting in terms of the internet. It seems, unfortunately, Yahoo Answers is going away.
Crazy.
Coming up this next week, May 4th, I guess, is going to be the last day.
To get your
will we know
answers.
the answers to
You
all our
won't get
questions?
any answers after May 4th.
But we'll never know.
I know. How I know that how to use how to make an eBay account?
Use
How
use
will I know if
Quora.
I'm Pregante?
Should I ask
Are you gonna
Jeeves? Is Jeeves still even alive
No.
anymore? I
No,
haven't
that
seen
doesn't
him in a.
exist.
Oh,
They
damn.
bought
Yeah.
out the domain forever ago.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
apparently they're like deleting then as well, like all of the like
All the answers.
all the answers,
Oh,
all the
no.
websites, all everything. So if there's your favorites, you should screenshot them or something.
My favorite answers.
favorite
My favorite answers. My favorite questions.
Exactly.
No,
It's like Yahoo was saying like, oh, it's a lot of money to keep it up, and on top of that, and kind of more, what I'm thinking is maybe a bigger problem is it's kind of been invaded by a lot of right-wing conspiracy theorists about
Oh
stuff like
God,
the
really?
election
Yahoo
and
Answers?
vaccines. Yeah, you wouldn't think, you know, like they're still on AOL, right, or something, but yeah, so that's one of the reasons that they said.
I usually
or-
I usually see those kind of conspiracy
Yeah.
theorists on like YouTube comments.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's not like it's going to like reduce the number of people that are getting misinformation, but they may just be going elsewhere. That's not Yahoo Answers anymore. But so if anyone has heard of the legend himself, Ludwig, he has
Ludwig
seen this whole,
Ogren, the most powerful man on Twitch right now.
he has become the most subbed. He was streaming for 31 days in total, an entire month, basically, with the subathon. If you hadn't heard about it,
Just thought it'd be a fun thing to do after getting back from the doctor. Turns out he lost the ability to jack off for a month. So sad.
Well, that's basically, whenever someone subscribed to him, he would lose, or not.
He would
He would gain 10 seconds, basically, of okay, I guess I have to keep streaming. And so for like a smaller, content creator, that'd be like, oh, okay, a lot of subscribers, and I get to play the game more. But they
Well,
kept
Ludwig
doing
doesn't
it.
stream
So,
games much. He
he didn't-
usually talks. He usually talks or participates
And
in game
eventually-
shows or
So
stuff like
Right,
that.
he didn't
yeah.
sleep for 31 days.
No, he sleeps. He
That was
just has the
part of it.
camera on him.
Ah,
People
okay.
were just like watching him, and like he had friends like come in or something to take over, I guess, while he like
Yeah, I think
to the
Slimesticle or
bathroom and, like,
something
shower.
had to take over for a day when he wanted to spend time with his girlfriend.
So
Because their family coming
yeah.
over.
I don't know if I would ever. I obviously like not want to do that where you're like constantly broadcast live stream for.
So
whole
he
month,
is
but-
suffering from success.
He made a lot of money, and he also donated a lot of it. To,
Yeah, I mean, he
charity as
didn't
well.
keep all that
So
money.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is-
Funimation did something like that at one point. There was is when they still had the they had sort of a podcast format with Funimation. It was a decent marketing strategy, but they canceled it. But they had one person who had never watched One Piece, and I think as like a, I guess, event for it coming to Toonami at the time, I think he literally just caught up, but it was like on stream live. He would catch up to every single episode. So like you just watch him watching One Piece for like days. It was like a 2-week long stream, I think, and he just like sat, ate, slept all in that room.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It seems like there's always something crazy coming out of Twitch
But-
these days. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
streaming.
I know. XQC has went like, well, maybe I should do my own subathon, and I'm like, XQC, I was like, XQC, how's that different from how you usually stream? Because you're usually streaming the entire day. The only difference would be that there'd be a camera on you when you sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get the
Also-
appeal, I guess,
Oh.
if you were to ask me.
Also, XQC's, the difference between like XQC and Ludwig is that XQC's audience, like, he gets way more viewers watching him than Ludwig does. But the thing with XQC is that most of his audience is kids, and kids don't have the money to sub to him. So that's why he doesn't have as many subscribers as Ludwig or Ninja and such. It's like I don't know if he's actually serious about it, but it's like I do think XQC can do a 31-day subathon. I'm like there are things against him. Also, to be honest, by the way, how the fuck does he have time to hang out with his girlfriend? Like, seriously, the guy. I mean, I know he lives with her, but like, which has been a running joke for the way, because like he said, no, she's just my roommate for years until she accidentally slipped up a week ago when she accidentally kissed him or something. and then
sure to deliver all the latest updates on.
And then people found out, no, you actually have been dating your roommate all this time. It's like how I could go like, yeah, but how the fuck does he have time to do that? Because even if they live together, because he streams like almost like the entire 12 hours or something, like, and like Jesus Christ, he streams such a long time. It's like I have no idea when he finds the time to do that.
That's crazy. But yeah, so I guess it turns out 3/4 of the podcast has got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So I guess I've kind of been following like the updates. If you guys haven't heard in the news, there's been some news about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It's like federally been paused distribution, but it turns out like it's kind of a big ado like about nothing. There's worries because some total of 9 people, last I heard, had started to develop these blood clots, and they're like, "Oh, have you had this vaccine lately?" And they're like, "Oh, yes, that's the one that I got." But it turns out like there's over 7.4 million people that have gotten the vaccine, and so directly the correlation causation, I don't think that they've exactly been able to prove that it's due to getting that specific injection. There's 8 of them were women, and they're saying that like the birth control as well, if you're on that, then you have a higher chance of getting these clots than the vaccine. But I definitely understand the like reason to be concerned. 1 of the 9 people has died because of it. So
yeah, that's not that because the vaccine was said to be 100% effective at least not making you suffer serious complications.
Hey, you don't suffer serious complications if you're dead.
If you die,
It's true.
like it's touchy, like to be in charge of like maybe wanting to err on the safe side. Like, okay, like we've had a lot of these cases reported, like maybe it's due to it, so maybe we should hold off on that. We've still got up 2 other vaccines that we can give people. Yeah, the U.S. is still reporting like over 70,000 cases, like new cases of COVID, like each day. So it's still something that I don't think we should stop distributing this one vaccine just because 9 people have gotten this one complication. But I'm not.
I think they got the approval to. They reinstated it today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I do remember. Yeah, they were going to talk about it or have some conference with other health officials last Friday. But yeah, so that would actually be good news then. It turns out a lot of misinformation on Facebook. I mean, if you're getting your news from Facebook, there's already
you're already having a problem. You're getting...
But yeah, federal agencies lifted pause on use of Johnson & Johnson vaccine, saying benefits outweighs risk. And this was from the Washington Post at 8:15 Central Time, our time.
I mean, there you go. So, but yeah, like there's a lot of misinformation on Facebook. It found out it's been being spread by the same people that were spreading misinformation about like the election. The same people on Yahoo Answers. It all is connected. And again, I harp on like Texas's and Dallas like vaccine distribution and all this, but I feel like it's better than a lot of other countries. I was recently in like this job interview for the lady interviewing me was like over in England, and she's asking me about like the vaccine, and she's about my same age too. She's like, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get it by the end of July. I'm like, what do you mean the end of gonna lie. Like, there's like you can go down the street and there's like open slots available for anyone here.
Vaccine
that's, like,
distribution's
over
different though,
age
depending on
16.
like the country.
Yeah,
right?
heck,
But
even in United States, it's different.
Yeah, states too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
it's like I was reading about China too. There's a possibility that if your social credit score is like too low, and that's a whole nother topic, but you may not like qualify for the vaccine.
You're too poor to live.
Yeah, I've asked Maggie about that, how she's doing in China, and it's just like she hasn't taken the vaccine yet. Last I checked on her.
Like, it's only people in group AA, so that's around like 1,000 social credit score, and that's what everyone starts out with, that are like in this health priority bracket. Turns out I was watching like this video that was going probably way too deep into it. That was like how many points you can lose or gain depending on like when you say bad things about the guy. It's crazy. You lose like more points if you say something bad criticizing the CCP in a group text than you would on social media, because it's like closer friend. It's a whole crazy deal. But anyway, yeah. So all that is to say, I would rather live in the United States on this for this reason. That it seems at least vaccine distribution's getting better and way better than other countries.
No.
So in Lego news, this was maybe more of a story like earlier on, because it turns out they did actually announce the set, but there was a software update for Lego Mario kit where basically it's this like computer that's inside of a Lego action figure. It's hard to describe exactly, but you would move little Lego Mario around the course, and you can build your own course, and I think that's where the appeal comes from. But then he would also react to it, so you stomp him on a little Lego Goomba, and he says like, "Oh, yippee," or whatever. But there's a recent software update for that toy where Mario would randomly start to call out for Luigi. He'd be like, "Oh, where's Luigi? I wish I had my brother." And that said,
Luigi?
like there wasn't a Lego Luigi available originally, but then now like they've come out. It was like a week later. It's like, oh, Lego Luigi is now dropping, in a couple months or something. And I just, it just seems so dystopian cyberpunk to me that your kids' toys are going to start like, oh, you gotta buy the yellow Power Ranger too, or my friends aren't here. Like, it's just maybe it's not that big a deal, but I feel like that's just very very sneaky. And by like Nintendo and Lego, some of the biggest already like companies, that they would do something like that. It's very badly with me. Next story we got. So museums over in Japan, which we still can't go to quite just yet, but they're going to be having some neat Pokemon themed fossil exhibits coming up soon. And like it's basically to you go see a pterodactyl like fossil, and it'd be like, oh, this is like the Pokemon Aerodactyl. I think that's pretty much it. But it's like to get kids more interested in like history and paleontology and stuff like that. So in local museum news, though, there's a Dallas Van Gogh immersive art installation that seems pretty neat. It's already, I've been seeing advertisements and stuff while I've been driving around Dallas. It's apparently already sold out through the end of June, though, but it's still after June. There's still spots available. I'm going to try to go at least once. It's like a traveling exhibit that will be here through until the end of September. So it's like it's something to go see. It's like the whole art, like it's all like how do I say, projected onto the walls and projected onto things, and it's like in motion. So if you're a fan of like Van Gogh's art and museums and fun stuff, that would be something to check out.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the site now. So it's basically like projectors throughout like the walls and stuff. So you get to see the art almost 365 degrees.
Yeah, it seems crazy. I've been a fan of like, I mean, it's weird to say I stand like a 13th century Renaissance like painter or something, but he's a favorite painter of mine, I guess. So there was an Apple technology event on 420. iPhone is now available in purple. I guess that everyone's been waiting for this color.
It looks good, honestly.
Like it's a neat, yeah. There was some other stuff that they revealed too that does seem pretty cool. So there's $25 Apple AirTags that also come in a pack of like 4 for $100. Wait, I feel like that's just the same. I feel like it's a better deal than that. But they're basically like these geolocator like chip tag things you can put on your keys or whatever, and then you can use the Find My iPhone application to track them down. Helps you locate your keys and stuff. It turns out like Samsung actually already released something like this for like $10 back in January, but with the Apple ones, you can custom engrave it with like an emoji on it. So way better. Definitely gotta pick these ones up.
Yeah.
There's like a new big TV. Their new TV remote like also has a mute button now. Like that was the whole big thing. It's like why did you get rid of the mute button then, Apple? Like there's a new, iMac 24-inch that comes in 7 different colors. It has their new fancy M1 chip. It's got 40% faster graphics, whatever that means. But it also like does not have. So if we want to compare the things that it doesn't have that they got rid of, it doesn't have an SD port. It doesn't have an HDMI port. It doesn't have like an Ethernet port. That's like now connected into the power
Dun-
cable.
I think it
somehow.
goes by Thunderbolt, so you'll just get a
Yeah.
Thunderbolt adapter.
How would that even? I guess that's possible, but
Yeah. I have something similar for my non-Apple laptop because it went through like the similar having just Thunderbolt ports. So that's gonna be all you kind of need.
like
And it's been a while since
yeah,
anybody used SD card outside of like a DS or cameras.
right.
So I
Maybe
I
just
can see.
phasing these things out, and maybe in the future, all technology, everything will just be Bluetooth interactability. But there's still been some complaints that like
Yeah,
it's not going to have
it's
any of
not
these ports
perfect.
anymore. And no USB as well, even. But maybe I just need to adapt to the times. Um, and it just so it reminded me of a little bit of random history of General Motors. Back in the 1920s when Ford came out with like the Model T, you guys probably all learned about. He was like, "Oh yeah, you can get it in any color you want as long as that color is black." And people were like, oh, "Okay, I wish it came in like actual other colors." And then it turns out, so DuPont, the paint company, bought the controlling stock in their biggest competitor of General Motors. And what their strategy then became was they would release new car colors every year. Like it would pretty much be the same cars, but it would be like there would only be 4 or 5 colors, but they would be new, different ones. There you would only have red, 1927 or whatever if you wanted a red car, and that just seems very similar to like what Apple, the iMacs are now coming in different colors, and it's history repeating itself. It's just a marketing tactic. Like eventually they run out of new features and stuff, so it's like an artificial scarcity of color customizability.
Yeah,
I
and then it'll
think
just repeat itself, and then it'll go back to like your solid blacks and whites.
Oh yeah,
I
that'll
don't
be
know. I
everything.
think I think the Nintendo 3DS line and limited editions have something to say about how much you can extend it.
Cool.
Because
I
there
think,
was a new,
those are
there was
neat
like
when
so
they
many new 3DSs
Yes.
when they have like custom
designs
Monster
and
Hunter
everything.
like Zelda designs. Now those I like
Those
but
those sold like hotcakes.
Yep.
And I mean, if they wanted to sell more Switch units, I mean, just had to do
They should
that.
just do
They
that.
just have to
Yeah.
do that. I mean, they're just keeping that. They don't need it right now. That's why they're not doing it.
Yeah.
That's a backup. Software is not selling. They'll release the limited edition Switch consoles.
If the
Yep.
stock dips below, you can see custom Splatoon 3 Switch is coming out. Oh man.
A purple color Switch, like
Yeah,
the
purple.
remember the clear Game Boy colors.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But it did the Mario version. But that was like forever ago. At this point, the Mario
earlier
Switch.
Yeah, wasn't it earlier this month?
Well, No, it was like 2018, 2019. Unless
Oh,
they did
shit.
another run of it.
Like,
Because I
yeah,
remember when my
for-
friend brought it while I was in college.
of the Switch.
The Mario Switch. They did I think a release of the Mario Limited Edition Switch at least at one point earlier in the Switch cycle.
No, because they're all hidden into
That or they
Mario.
just released the Mario Joy-Cons at that time. No, they totally had the Switch way back then.
Yeah.
I'm not
Because this is the one they
crazy.
just did earlier this month.
It's re-released.
But it's like basically just red and blue, but like in a different coloration. So I don't know. It's
Uh,
marketing being marketing. But
Yeah.
there's in other sort of technology Nintendo news, a $100 Instax mini camera that's going to be available through Amazon starting April 30th. So it's neat because you can use this. It interfaces directly with the Switch somehow to print out screenshots like a little Polaroid, I guess. And so it's intended to be used with like the new Pokemon Snap that's coming out. Also, I guess on April 30th, and so you can print out your favorite ones because we don't have like Blockbuster anymore. We can't really do that. So this is
Man, I can't
their
believe it's
replacement.
been this long since Blockbuster closed. It's been like 10
Like,
years
it
now.
is, yeah, a relic of decades gone by.
Hollywood Video closed earlier.
Right. And then other news, Texas, technically. So the cop that killed George Floyd then was arrested. It feels like it's been
Yeah.
a long time since we've gotten like guilty for like when cops.
I
have
seen
these-
like George Floyd like stuff getting recommended on my Hulu subscription.
Oh, interesting.
Ugh.
Yeah. So George was himself a Houston native. There were some protests in Dallas, but it's mostly like it's not enough. Like they still need to go further. Dallas still has like so much just awful stuff going on in the.
I mean
police.
that tends to happen when you get those sort of like angry crowds. When you try to placate them with the solution, they're gonna like more. I like Kylo Ren. Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, hopefully.
improvement.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, yeah, I those movements, like, I can never predict if they like stick to the original goal or if they just go wildly off. And because it's so scattered, you know, it's like there's like one faction does not affect another faction. It's like it's just those things are really hard to like predict.
But again, this is a big step forward, not just for Blacks, African Americans, just with kind of like the tirade, like the cops can't get away with stuff like they
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah, like I remember, like it was it in Dallas or something? I can't remember, but there was like this woman who walked into an apartment thinking it was hers, saw the dude, and then shot him.
Mm-hmm. That was here.
Which
Yeah.
He's 25. It's my age.
No, yeah, Texas and like the Dallas Fort Worth
Yeah,
area just
messed
has a
up.
long history.
yeah,
A lot of
this is why we don't shoot first and ask questions later. Okay, unless you have like those futuristic guns that actually have a stun mode. But I don't know if anyone would actually invent those, because the problem was if you did, you would just be so lax with shooting the gun that you'd forget that sometimes you might forget to put the stun mode on, just like boom.
No. See, what you need to do
Well,
is have a
with-
computer AI that actually judges the crime coefficient of the person that you're pointing.
Yeah, but
Psychopaths.
I think
Alright, so you're talking about
that's less
psychopaths.
realistic. I think that's less realistic than the psychopath thing is
I'm
less
sure that would have
realistic.
Well, I
definitely
mean-
repercussions on society as a whole.
Well, with
and
with a pistol, at least standard issue, you'd have to, you'd at least have to like take aim, put down your, you actually have to take a safety off too. So that's another
Oh.
step you wouldn't have to do in a stun gun, but whatever.
yeah.
It's
Or we could do what Japan
it's-
does and have no guns.
just mace and stun
There's
guns.
a few guns.
I mean,
But
yeah,
they
if
also
you're a
have
cop,
to-
yeah. If you're a
Yeah.
cop, yeah, but
They have to authorize with the city
Yeah.
to even use stun guns on a
Yeah, swords.
It is
on
on
a-
like a little Velcro bungee cord, and they have to like put the
I
key.
swear, I
and-
swear I've seen anime. I mean, obviously it's an anime. I don't know if it's true, but where it's like, oh, we've got authorization from the prime minister to use stun guns, and I'm like, you need authorization to use stun guns?
I'm sure you do.
Oh, geez.
Like in England, they don't have guns. People just use knives to commit crimes, and
That's what
That
I
Yeah,
worked.
it just
do,
becomes knife culture there. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, they're
And that-
adopting the Call of Duty
Yeah,
Modern
right.
Warfare culture there.
Jeez. In some other more uplifting news, I suppose, there was the big Josh fight yesterday happened.
Oh, the only two Josh Swains actually showed up to that. Like the others were just people named Josh.
The
Close
winner
enough.
was a little Josh. There's some really cool pictures. It turned into like a giant, like inflatable or like,
Yeah, it was like
balloon
those
fight.
inflatable balloon fights or just rock paper scissors.
I just
And
thought of
they
like
ended
Drake
up
and
saying,
Josh
yeah.
like beating each other
Oh,
up or something.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. That would be funny, Drake and Josh. But yeah,
I think they ended up like donating a lot of money. Also, the little Josh is like from a hospital. He was dealing with like a medical thing, and so like, oh, we should help out, like donate money to his
That's good.
hospital. So that's like
Yeah.
a really sweet ending with
yeah.
that.
If only it was as epic as the memes, where it was just like literal Naruto fighting, just beating each
Yeah,
other up.
it's basically like the opposite of that Storm Area 51 raid that we had last year. Something like a lot
Well-
of people showed up, but
Well, yes,
nothing
but
happened.
Area 51 was like it. That was just like a party at the end of the day, as just similar to the Josh thing.
But yeah, so that's fun. But what do we got going on in anime news, Justin?
All right, so anime news. First, now there's actually been some interesting anime news that came out in the previous weeks. One is that Osamu Kobayashi, the director of speaking of Naruto himself is dead, as well as the director of Beck and Paradise Kiss and the shitty episodes of Gurren Lagann and Dororo. Yeah, if you go to this guy's Mao profile, which I don't know why you would do that because Mao is a toxic community. You get a bunch of you get a bunch of hate before his death. You got a bunch of hate comments going, "You suck, man. You fucking suck. Die," or something like that. Yeah, because Osamu Kobayashi hasn't been really good in a long time. But and
How did he die? What was the cause of death?
I
comments?
actually forgot what the actual cause of death was. It's probably I know it was a health complication, but I don't know the actual. Let me look it up for a bit. Let me see. What was the cause of his death? Oh, kidney cancer.
Ooh.
Well, yeah. And like I wasn't in love with this guy myself. Yes, his episode of Gurren Lagann was bad. And Beck, the visual style does not held up at all. The animation is so awful in that anime. Paradise Kiss had a unique visual style though, and Naruto is its own thing. But nevertheless, I knew he had a reputation as an industry legend, as a somewhat industry legend. He wasn't like the biggest thing, and nevertheless, it's sad to see him go. But man, the people who are like mad at him for his recent resume, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore those people. Yeah, it is sad when the old guard goes away. I'm still like anticipating Katsura Otomo's death, even though he hasn't made and I don't think he hasn't really made much anime since like Steam Boy, and well, Steam Boy was dog shit. So, I mean, not visually. It was still animation wise, it was awesome. But yes, rest in peace, Osamu Kobayashi. I'm sorry that your last few anime were not regarded well, but I did see them, and I cannot argue against them. Okay, in other news, the creators of Stars Align, which if you don't remember or don't know, Stars Align was this dramatic tennis series that that was initially planned to be much longer, but the production company screwed the creator over. And so we got that rushed and finale, which and I know Madeline was really into it. And basically he's trying to find a new production company to fund the sequel, but it is he's not having the greatest luck so far.
Is it good by chance?
It's very dramatic. I didn't watch past the first episode, but basically he's it does have its fan base though, and people are like trying, and he's like wants to like get that sequel running so he can complete his story. But anime production is just so screwed up. Like it's so hard to get the funding for that. Like I still remember the news of how Wonder Egg Priority, the creators of that, got fucking screwed with those production issues to the point that like one of the team had to be hospitalized.
Oh yeah, this was pretty popular when it first came out.
Yeah, it wasn't that popular. Like it wasn't, like Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on
Oh
Titan,
no, but
Jobless Reincarnation popular. Maybe Skate.
yeah,
Well,
it was
Skate
like,
outside of Japan, because Skate's really popular in Japan. I don't know how popular it was in Japan, to be honest. I didn't keep up with that, but yeah. But basically, yeah, he is looking. I don't know if he'll succeed because the animation production, like there's been some recent articles lately about how Japan really needs to fix its anime production industry, because it is just such dog shit right now with how much it's screwing over the employees, unless your name is Kyoto Animation or UFO Table.
I feel like that's just been a problem since it existed.
I know, but people are like, and why haven't we chosen to fix it? The obvious answer being it's Japan. Japan is kind of like allergic to change, but it's like this needs to be fixed, Japan, because you are breaking the spirit of your animators and having them produce like Wonder Egg Priority and the creators of that get nothing. Well, actually, no, wait, I said that wrong. They get a hospital bed.
I have a good comparison, but you guys don't want to hear it. So it's like how fast food employees in the U.S. are paid so low.
Well, yeah, but I think fast food employees get paid better for the work they do than animators. Like, I mean,
it's like such an important thing over there. You'd think that like they would try to improve the standards of living of the
monsters.
I mean, teachers.
I mean, McDonald's in Japan look. I mean, I don't know how it is in Japan, but it's got to be. But it's got to be better than an animator.
I don't know. That food's pretty bad there, so.
Yeah, like I know fast food employee is kind of rough too because of all the serving orders, taking to deal with crap and like food and stuff. But I don't know. I have no idea if it breaks your spirit as much as an animator. Probably not. But
I worked fast food in my young youth. It could break somebody's spirit. I think any job dealing with the public and they see you as insignificant, even if you're just doing it just to get the discount, it's very stressful.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't belittle them saying it's not as bad. Work is work.
Yeah.
And the oppressed are always going to feel oppressed. So.
Yeah, that's why my parents never let me work those jobs. They were saying no. Yeah, they never let me work
was
there.
Like paying people $50 to like come in for job interviews at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like,
well, although it can't,
raise the minimum wage, guys. Like,
although it can't turn out successful if you're like the odd ones out and you get to make millions of thousands of dollars talking about your experience at Subway. But you have to be the odd ones out to do that. Okay, so Star Align. Hopefully he gets that funding, but it's hard to remove. And apologies to anyone who was offended by my comparison to the fast food and saying I don't know if it's as bad, but either way, it is something that needs to be changed.
And you are appreciated.
Yeah, I am appreciated because I've never worked in fast food or the animation industry, so I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just that I obviously see more controversy around the animation, but I think that's probably because you expect that with fast food jobs at this point. It's like, yeah, we know. Okay, and in other news, Quintessential Quintuplets is getting a sequel film for its finale. Really a harem, the most popular harem series in Japan. Gets a film. I I was gonna say that was a little unusual for a harem series to end with a movie, but then I'm like, oh wait, there was that shitty Sword no Toshimono finale movie that ruined the entire series.
It was pretty. It was bad, but it been awful.
And then there's Psychono as well. That also had a finale movie, and it's like I've seen some mixed responses on that. People are saying, "No, you're just gonna rush it," because there's been a bit of a backlash to anime movies recently, probably because of like people just like series more because of the more time it gives, and also, but there's also some people saying, "No, this is a good idea because the last act of Quintessential Quintuplets was dragged out, and so a
I
film would
mean,
just like eliminate the dragging.
they're
out.
obvious cash grabs, but if that's a cash grab to greenlight another season to get enough funding, then
Well,
more
no, this
power
is
to
apparently
you.
the finale, so where
Yeah.
the guy actually chooses which sister he marries. So
So they're not adding a sixth sister and calling it the quintessential sex
Six-
couplets?
that would be how would that be physically possible?
Hey,
It's anime.
yeah, and if you
Time
have
travel.
the money
It's
to
like-
greenlight it, go ahead.
It's like where would the sixth sister even come from? Like where?
The closet.
I just figured the sextuplets would just that would sell it on its own. That's all you need.
Yeah, but then there'd be quite a few more complications there, wouldn't it? And also, just announced recently, Monica Magica is also getting a movie sequel, the sequel to Monica Rebellion, and it's got the same which is fun. It's got the same team. Gen Urobuchi's coming back after dealing with that Thunderbolt fantasy puppet thing of his, and yeah, Shaft is at it again too. And I'm like, oh Shaft, I thought you died after David Production killed you, and took all your staff for Fire Force. But no, you're still alive. I mean, yes, I know that there's that B Shonen show you have right now, but let's be honest, no one's watching that.
You know, what has Shaft made other than Monogatari sequels in a long time?
Yeah, they haven't made anything that scored above a 7 on Mao. Let's just say that.
Sounds
just-
pretty Shaft.
Like ever since Monogatari, they have made nothing that people have cared about. That cared about the recent Monogatari. I mean, obviously they made stuff after Monogatari, but I'm talking about like the most recent Monogatari.
I mean, sounds on brand for Shaft.
Yeah,
though.
and that because after the recent Monogatari, a lot of Shaft employees left because the working conditions were bad, and they decided let's go do that JoJo studio.
Yeah, the only thing that really peaked for Shaft, like during Monogatari production, was like March Comes Like a Lion.
That was technically
I mean,
before the latest
When you say-
Monogatari, though.
I mean, I just meant kind of in the Monogatari timeline.
yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, Nisekoi, I guess, scored high on, even though it doesn't deserve
I mean,
it.
Nisekoi was a popular Shonen Jump anime, yeah.
Terrible show.
Well, until the second season came and screwed everything up. Yeah,
Awful.
people did not like that second season, and they didn't like the ending of the manga either. But that's a whole different can of worms. Yeah, they haven't. They've been pretty. They haven't.
Just bring back
had
Setsubo
success.
Sensei. Just make it like ongoing
Yeah.
forever.
I don't know.
Like Gintama.
I think Zatsubo Sensei is just dead these days.
I mean, yeah, but
yeah, so
have
it's
to
like,
be.
yeah, I think Shaft at this point is like at the point where I think they can only be known for recreating their old properties. It's just like, okay, reviving their old properties. I'm like, okay, fine, do what you want, Shaft, because Lord knows, David Production is using your animators to great effect. Like Fire Force itself, yeah, it's kind of just a bit of a standard shonen, but man, the fight animation in that show was amazing, like really amazing. Like that was some really good use of Shaft like visuals there, and I'm like, yeah, I think they're doing pretty fine if they can make Fire Force look like that. So we'll see. I think they have enough staff that they could do a successful Monica sequel film, but that it remains to be seen because I don't think they're going to get a new IP, new successful IP in a long time. Their recent new one is just like no one cares. No one cares about whatever that B Shonen thing is right now. And yeah, that's all the anime news. But there's some more personal anime game news I do want to address, and that's Great Ace Attorney's finally getting localized. It's finally coming to America. Like all the rumors about all the leaks and the fact that Sherlock Holmes is going to be renamed Herlock Sholmes, and also
That's part.
also Iris Watson has been renamed to Iris Wilson because you can't have Watson's name in it either. Yeah, it's coming, and I've actually looked at the trailer, heard the dub, and wow, the dub's amazing. Oh man, I like. Grant, it's very it's very Britishy, which is like, and they actually and oh wow, they actually call the British people actually call Japanese people the Nipponese.
That seemed kind of racist. But
Because it is. They're right. It's because because Japan because this is set in the era where British is racist against Japan.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting story because Phoenix's heritage,
And,
like he kinda comes
I
out
have played the
differently.
fan translated
Yeah.
version of the first game, and Van Zeeks, the prosecutor, and his leg.
He puts his foot on the
Yeah,
desk, on the
leg.
bench.
My Van Zeeks, he is very racist against the Japanese. Okay, yeah, him and his leg is going to like. Oh man, Van Zeek's voice is so awesome. I can't wait. I might play the first game again just to see the new translation. I was thinking of just diving into the second game because I've already beaten the first game. But it's like, and just for the record, Great Ace Attorney, amazing Ace Attorney game. It's one of the best Ace Attorney games I've played. It's like it's just it's so great. I love Herlock Sholmes and his goofiness, and I love Iris Iris Wilson now. I love Iris. I love Susato. That's the new Maya of the group, and I love Rio. I love how they kept the Japanese names for the character. So he's not called Wright. He's called Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Which is Naruhodo is what Phoenix Wright is called in Japan. But yeah, he's called Ryunosuke. They kept his Ryunosuke Naruhodo name, and it's like that's cool. Although I'm a little concerned that they're also going to keep the translation. I've heard that they're going to keep the translation of the short way to say the racist slur of Nipponese, the nips. And I'm like,
Oh wow!
It's an improvement.
It looked
for
like we
sure.
just got breaking news.
Really?
Yes.
We can. It's for like more games, but I just happened to see it.
Oh, you can't put breaking news and not expect somebody
gotta
to
break
call
it.
out.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know. Break the news already. Like, what's it about?
It's a new 5-star character from the new Inazuma region. Looks
Is it
cool.
Eula?
No. So it's a wind sword guy. That would be 5-star.
I thought that was a girl.
It looks like it might be.
Is it Yanfei? Is it
Anyway.
Yanfei or?
No, that's a.
Oh no, wait.
That's,
Oh,
I
Kazuha. Oh, it says Kazuha.
think he's already been leaked before though.
Yeah.
Support
So anyway, he looks cool. I didn't mean to be breaking with the news, but just put it in the chat. Yeah. So
Wait,
we're getting into the game.
this isn't the.
Kiryu,
This isn't the official
Kazuha.
announcement. What is this? This isn't the official announcement.
Oh
Is it
yeah.
from-
Oh yeah. What?
Yahoo
yeah, like,
Answers.
No, we're gonna get. Oh no, we're gonna
Oh,
get a
wait, is
lawsuit.
is this a leak?
Pretty sure this is official.
Yeah, if it's a leak, then it's
It
like
might
what?
not be.
Then this is like less breaking news and more. Can we get an official source, please?
Oh, do we need to edit this part of the
Yep, edit it
whole
out.
thing out? Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay. So let's pretend that did not happen.
Never mind.
But anyways, I'm super stoked. Genshin. Sorry. Ah, god damn it!
Stoked about Genshin?
You got to turn to my mouth, didn't you? Anyways, great Ace Attorney, which comes out on the same day as the New World Ends with You game. Apparently, it's like definitely excited. Not sure when we'll play it in the visual novel chat. I don't know if Ed will play it or I don't. Is it only on Switch or is it coming to PC? I didn't look that.
It's coming to PS4 as well.
Yeah, but I'm not playing it on
Okay, yeah,
that.
you can't really
Like, why would I ever play an Ace Attorney game on the PS4?
Because that's the best place to play games, Sony.
Yeah, Oh, and the other game news is that the new Tales game is coming out. It's finally been confirmed for this year, and I can't wait. I saw the gameplay, and it's like it's still Tales. Like you still like when you touch the enemies, you go into that battle transition. But man, the battles look clean as fuck, and the graphics, the Unreal Engine graphics, it's like the best looking Tales
Yeah.
game.
I like the new
in a
style
while.
they went for with this one.
Same.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like open world, like Genshin Impact or Monster Hunter or something, but it turns out no. You still get the battle transitions. It's just that you
Yeah.
see all the enemies now. But man, the battles look clean, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely excited. I definitely want to play it. I haven't played a Tales, well, aside from when I replayed Tales of Cilia earlier. I
I've
have,
only finished
I haven't-
Berseria.
yeah.
I haven't finished that either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have. The only recent Tales game I haven't beaten are Tales of Graces, which I didn't like, but people told me I was playing it wrong because apparently that was the best battle system. For
Yeah,
Tales,
I've heard it's got the best combat.
which is funny because when I tried the combat, because the reason I quit was because the combat was not working for me. But people told me no, you were playing it wrong, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. If I ever get to Tales of Graces again, I'll look up how to do the battle system.
Combat usually means overly complex combat sometimes.
Yeah, and Tales of Asteria, which has that sweet opening song by the woman who sung like the Promare soundtrack or something. I didn't play that because people told me it was mediocre because it was just Tales going through the motions.
Hmm.
So I just never touched it.
Cool.
And but yeah, I'm definitely excited for Tales of Arise and to see the Great Ace Attorney. So yeah, super
Awesome.
hype for those.
All right.
And yeah, that's my gaming news. And now it's time to go into your guys' gaming news. What do you got for me? You've been playing the new Nier game?
Yeah, Nier's out. Nier Replicant. Yeah.
I think we covered it.
Yeah, we
enough
pretty
for-
much covered it. There's not much else I want to hit on it yet. Yeah.
I think we'll come back to it the next episode. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think we'll
hopefully-
have at least
I-
one ending done.
Yeah, hopefully we probably won't have it done because I don't know how. I mean, there's like
Just 5 endings.
really I thought there was more than that.
No, it was in the original game. It was 4 endings, but you had to replay the game every time to get one
Yeah,
of the
well,
endings.
most of the time you did. There was a couple I think it started you like part of the way through or like on a different section, but yeah.
I know that the ending to erase your save file because everyone knows Yoko Taro hates save files.
Yeah.
You had to replay the game again with no changes.
Yeah.
so it's
yeah,
like-
there is one that does that, yeah.
And it was like, that was so unnecessary. Why was that a good idea?
I mean, you don't I guess I could add you don't play as the dad in this one.
Uh-huh.
Brother.
You play as the brother. Whereas
Daddy
if
Nier,
people
no!
if people didn't know, for the US release, you played as the dad to and you had a dad-daughter relationship. In the Japanese release, it was a brother-sister relationship, whereas they changed it here to they changed it up on the PS3 release here originally because it didn't I guess they just didn't think it would like culturally make as much sense here.
Because
The dynamic.
People don't have brother-sister relationships here.
Yeah,
we don't
it's too
have-
unrelatable.
Also, they don't have brothers with white who look like they came out of the geriatric ward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like every single member of your party has white hair in that game.
But I think pretty much the story is the same, pretty much, I think, in both releases. So, okay.
So what's,
yeah, go
what's
ahead.
this next one?
You know,
I just see Big Bowser penis.
so
Do we
I
need
could
that
do
one?
that.
Should we skip
I'll
over
do
that
that one. I'm the one that brought it up. So apparently, this was a Kotaku article.
one? Okay,
There's
quality.
a guy that, yeah,
Quality.
quality.
Yeah.
It's mud. But what happened? There was a Kickstarter, a Patreon, sorry, on a guy that makes dildos and sex equipment, and he designed a Bowser penis with spikes on the testicles, and Big Daddy Nintendo wasn't having that, so you could no longer subscribe to his Patreon to get Bowser's Dawn.
Wow. Nintendo just completely
Everything.
knocking down a peg for content creators.
No extent they won't go to.
But it was actually designed very well. So,
Did you get one?
nope.
No.
Unfortunately,
Wasn't
didn't
able to
get it.
secure one, huh? Mm-mm.
No,
Already
it
sold
got
out.
pulled. It got pulled off.
Kotaku and their penises, man. Tell you what.
No, they seem to be they can be obsessed with them sometimes.
You want to do the next story with indies?
I didn't write the Nindies. Is that you, Nick?
So like, yeah, I think we kind of like live streamed it on the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the Nindies
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
on that.
The only kind of big thing I took away though is they didn't say anything about the Hollow Knight
Yeah, I didn't.
editions for that. So obviously, it's confirmed. It's that Hollow Knight's going to be the next Smash Bros. Character. Like it just adds up.
You mean they
That's-
didn't
that's
announce
kind of
Silk Song or something?
Yeah, Silksong wasn't in there, so that
It was
just
already
means that
out for
Silksong will be announced
That is
with
already
E3
out for Switch.
at the same time that Hollow Knight is added as Smash Bros. DLC. But I don't know. There were some other interesting looking games that were on there.
Yeah.
It's TBD. Yeah, it's TBD on the
Yeah.
Nintendo Store listing. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's been out for how long? It's been out a while, hasn't it?
yeah,
Hollow Knight's been
it's
out since 2017.
Well, I meant Silk Song.
I have no idea.
The DLC for it. Yeah,
Well, it's
2
more
years
of an
after that.
it's more of an expansion.
Uh,
Oh no, it's not out. It's not out yet. I thought it was already out.
But so.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's a separate game. I don't even think it's a DLC. They're selling it as a separate title.
does you play as a different?
Yeah, you play as the girl beetle. Is it a beetle? The beetle, right?
Yeah, it's considered a sequel.
I still need to beat Hollow Knight, so no spoilers.
I haven't finished it either, so
I will finish it one day. It's the one that I always put down, and I don't want to go back to where I left off because I'm bad again. And it's a pretty ruthless game, though. Like, I mean, gotta get the combat down. Yeah, good stuff.
what else? There was another thing we have on possibly missing amiibo figures, because there's a big gap between Cat Peach to Magnamala in Monster Hunter Rise. I don't think it's a gap. They might be holding those numbers for other releases, or it could be international releases. Because not every amiibo that's announced comes to each local region. So there's a good chance for that. Or they're just placeholders for whoever.
Wait, we have regional exclusive amiibos now?
Yeah, we always did.
When?
Oh,
When
like
did that
Monster
start?
Hunter Story ones.
Oh, I mean, like,
Oh,
guess.
the Dark Souls
that was here.
character.
That was here.
Oh, the Diablo 3 one. That one was only United States.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, those. I mean, they should do Smash lineups that are like UK exclusive, Japan exclusive. Promote travel.
Oh, it's just like Pokemon Go all over again. You got to go to like India to catch Torkoal.
I mean, it's like why stop at having to stake out Best Buy when they can just send you to Japan to buy your amiibo?
Yeah, stake out big cameras.
They even do that anymore? Do you still have to do they still do retailer exclusive amiibos if it's gonna be released in your region?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Really?
I don't think there's nothing new.
Just I've been so out of the amiibo game at this point. I don't even know how they sell them anymore.
I don't know. I just get mine just pre-order from Best Buy and Amazon, and
Yeah.
I just get them by the box full.
Cool.
Let's see what else we have here. Monster Hunter Rise and Ninjala crossover event. I totally forgot about this game. I didn't even realize it came out. Like, I saw it at E3 like 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I never heard anything else. But they're gonna have costumes for the characters in that Battle Arena game. So that's the thing.
Oh, they showed this at E3 last year, didn't they? That it was
No,
coming.
there was no E3.
Or not last year. They showed it somewhere. Was it Game Awards? I saw this somewhere recently though.
I think it's been a couple of years because I saw it at E3.
I don't know. Name rings a bell though.
Yeah.
I remember it had like a really bad, like buggy launch for it. But it's like the same art style as sort of as like Splatoon. You run around, but
As
but
ninjas.
you're ninjas.
Like-
I don't know. I haven't played it though myself.
I totally forgot about. Like, I didn't realize it came out. I thought it was just one of those still in production. But yeah, Monster Hunter costumes on a game that's possibly dying. So, but nothing's coming from that game to Monster Hunter. Thank God.
Yeah, that's the
So-
thing. There's no like bubblegum swords that you can fight the monsters with. It's like a crossover that's only one direction.
One-sided.
Oh, this isn't a Nintendo first party though. This is by the
Gun Host
creators. By the creators of Ragnarok Online, of course. I can see the transition. I can see it.
What else? I didn't pick this story. Fantasy Star Online 2
Oh.
beta.
I put that. Yeah, it was terrible. I spent like an hour and a half trying to get that fucking Microsoft Insider app to work, which I didn't even know was an app until
Yeah.
they said they had to use it. The Xbox Insider Hub is the official name. It's the dumbest app I've ever seen. I was like just sitting there with my friends, and we were watching a live stream while I was at work, and just everybody had the same problems. The app just kept giving like error, and you have to restart it each time, and some people would get in, and then they would have to keep refreshing. Once they're in, there was another step. You had to keep refreshing, and then hopefully it shows up in the previews, and then hopefully you can click the listing. It took me about an hour and a half to get in. So this was a disaster mainly because it's a closed beta for a game that comes out a month later. You might as well have just made it an open beta. Because the game comes out, I think, in June. PSO2 New Genesis. I believe it comes out in June. Or it comes out in July. It comes out July 4th. And it's like, hold up, actually that might not be accurate. I'll get the release date later. But yeah, so the beta is the 14th through the 16th of May, and it's like, why would you use it through an app that doesn't see that much traffic? Like, you're gonna get the whole PSO2 community, or at least a good chunk of it, going in for this beta, and it's a limited invite closed beta, so only so many people could check it out on the Xbox Insider app, and that was part of the, like, everybody was waiting for the noon time that it came up, and then just dove right into it, and obviously it went down, and we were just stuck there trying to get in for the longest time. I was able to get an invite, my friend was able to get an invite, so they definitely made quite a bit of invites if we got in, because I'm sure a lot of people got in. But yeah, it was just bizarre. It's kind of bizarre how Xbox treats PSO2. It's just a weird scenario. For starters, I never saw any advertising for New Genesis. I heard it just kind of through the grapevine. There's been, maybe there wasn't an E3 last year, but there's been plenty of opportunity to advertise these games. Like, Xbox has had quite a few like their own directs and their own live streams, and there was Game Awards, and it's my first time hearing about New Genesis. But I don't know. Jamar, you have any input? Like, you have something you want to say about the Xbox Insider app?
Yeah, I just reinstalled it. I'm like, oh, let me see, since I have internal access, and it crashed on me.
No, yeah. It was it was like a 2.3 on the App Store before the invite session even started. Like, people hated it even before this all started.
Yeah,
But
it's at 1 stars now.
Maybe it was like trying to test
yeah,
like, adoption or like
the
trying to get more
game
people to use
the
it.
game actually releases in June. I was right, June of this year, and it's like, why would you do a closed beta test 2 days before, or why would you do a closed beta test for 2 days when the game comes out like 3 weeks later? Why not just do an open beta, let people experience it?
I
Stress
wonder
test the
if they're
servers.
trying to figure out the traffic.
But you wouldn't know the traffic with closed beta.
Well, you do a limited amount and see will it hold X amount of people.
I guess, yeah, like active users, but I mean, I think we all know when the game launches, the servers are going to crash immediately.
Yeah.
Um,
Just go to the Japanese servers.
yeah, but I mean, New Genesis looks a lot cleaner than PSO2 did. It looks very nice. PSO2 is like 12-year-old game at this point. It's not 20 years old. It came out in 2012, but I remember when PSO2 first came out, people were like waiting for it to come to the PSP. They're like, oh man, it's finally coming. And then the Vita came out and they're like, okay, it's coming to the Vita. That's what they're waiting for. And it never came out. And then finally Xbox announced it like in 2020 or 2019 that it was coming to Xbox. And we're like, well, the game's been out 10 years. It's kind of, we missed most of the content updates at this point.
Oh man. I would blame Sega on that because I remember
I mean, it's stupid for Sega, yeah.
The past 8-10 years going to like E3 and from the announcement of PSO2, like, oh, you guys working on English trans? Yeah, we'll go get it. Yeah. We'll have it done in 2 years. 2 years pass. They're like, yeah, it's coming.
It's just like burning money because I mean, there's such an audience for PSO here. Like I never realized it was as big as it was because that wasn't really when I came up in gaming is the PSO peak times, and I did play PSO when it was on the 360, but it's like at that point it's just kind of it was sort of dying on there, but I'm pretty excited because I mean with New Genesis I actually get to experience PSO. A PSO game when it launches. I mean, I think it's launching the same time in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the previews again. It looks clean. It
looks good.
Yeah, it's like popcorn MMO to me. It's simple to play, get a couple of people, but it was honestly with Sega wasn't gonna bring it out. They're like, whatever, we're making money in Japan. And Microsoft wanted some type of Japanese exclusives.
Yeah.
So Microsoft is hosting the servers. And that's the only reason why we got it, because
and then they saw how much money they made on the PSO2 release for an old game, and they're like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, maybe there's some money.
Maybe Genesis has some hope in this market. So I mean I'm sure they killed it on the microtransactions for like costumes. Oh, yeah. Like I can't even imagine. It's like Sega's Genshin cash cow. Another news that came up, like I think it was last week, but Blizzard veteran Jeff Kaplan left. He's one of the longtime Blizzard vets at the company. He was there 19 years, and if you didn't know, he was the director of the Overwatch series. And Overwatch 2 has not been, I don't even think they've given like really a ballpark date for the release. So for a game director to leave like in the middle of development like that, it doesn't really bode well for the development process there. Not to mention just kind of all of the disasters we've had at Blizzard over the past few years with just Activision execs just kind of getting thrown and shoot into board decisions and chairman positions and director positions. So I don't know. I'm not a huge Overwatch fan, so I mean there's not really much disappointment from me here, but I am sad to see just Blizzard get diluted even further by just Activision.
Yeah.
I mean it's been a shadow of its former self for a while now, but Overwatch, yeah.
It's kind of weird because Overwatch 2 is supposed to be PvE.
Yeah, it's supposed to have some PvE functionality. I think it's both, but yeah.
Because one of the big announcements when they talked about Overwatch was, oh, you don't need to play with people onto because the maps will carry over on one,
Hmm.
but two is going to have that PVE part of it because remember they tried to make Overwatch that super big esport game, and
It
it
kind of took
never,
off, but it
yeah, it
didn't.
never
It was
reached like Dota or League of
it
Legends.
had a
that-
short shelf life.
yeah.
And I think that's part of why Activision. I would imagine Activision pushed them to make Overwatch 2 because simply they can sell another copy of the game again. So quick purchase, and then everybody's got to start buying skins again. Like it'll rev people up. It'll build up hype to come back to Overwatch. Is really all it's gonna do, and that's what Activision would want ideally. I mean, it's why they. I think that's if I remember correctly, that's why they wanted Division 2 or not Division 2, Destiny 2 created, was because they wanted to get more people back into Destiny and they needed to upgrade the engine, so it's like a win-win.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, it's kind of like it's kind of like salt on the wound for a lot of people who aren't who knew Overwatch was actually originally planned to be an MMO, and now that they're just going to PvE for part of the game, is just like, really, you took all the assets for an MMO, turned it into an annoying like battle shooter, Team Fortress
Hero shooter.
style game, and now you're just going back to it. But yeah,
I think the biggest thing with this is, like you said, Blizzard basically is a whole different company from when I grew up. Was you got into Blizzard, it was like cradle to the grave. Like you made it if you got a job at Blizzard. I remember having friends in like the art studio just years ago that was like super excited. They moved to Irvine, California, and it was like a home for them. And now it's a lot of the big names left, and they're all doing their own projects and starting their own studios. So I'm curious to see what's going to actually happen to Blizzard Activision, because Kaplan did say that like the roadmap for Overwatch 2 is ready there, so it'll still be following the plan.
Yeah,
but it's not Blizzard like you knew 25 years ago or 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. It's a whole new thing.
yeah, and I mean, I've met people who came on, who came on to Blizzard after, I should say, they started playing Blizzard games after the Activision acquisition, and after this is more of a merger, but after the merger and after they started getting like a much bigger stake in the company than they had initially and more control over development, and they've liked them. I mean, they obviously like Blizzard games even after that. Like that's what they that's the Blizzard games they know, and they love them just fine. So I mean, that's just a maybe there's not a space for us, the audience they had way back when, but there's definitely new people that appeals to, obviously, or they wouldn't be making these. But yeah, I mean, it's a different Blizzard. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if it impacts the work culture negatively, then yes. But I don't know what's going on under the hood. From the outside, it looks like it's going to have a negative impact on the work culture, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's a bit stifling to creativity, but we'll see.
Yep.
So I watched a little bit of the Diablo 2 alpha. There was a couple YouTubers streaming it. It looks pretty much the same to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was to say I was moderately disappointed would probably be accurate. I was pretty disappointed. I was like, I mean, they were talking about that Diablo 2 remake for the longest time, and it literally just looks like almost identical. Well, that's a bit of a stretch, but it looks not much better than Diablo 2 does. I can't warrant buying it on release, really, the way it looks. The UI is exactly the same. Everything plays exactly the same. The models look slightly better. It doesn't even look like Diablo 3 level of models, which is kind of what I expected. But no. Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised that they were working on it as long as they were. But this is alpha. It could be like they went through many transitions before they released this to the public. So I mean, the game's close to ready. If it's, I mean, it's slated for release this year, so it must be fairly close. And the build we got could have been like really early, really
Yeah.
early working build. So it could look. Although I would imagine they wouldn't showcase their game with a build that looks drastically different from the full product, but I don't know, could happen. But yeah, I was very underwhelmed. I will probably buy it regardless of what I say on here, knowing me, but I was pretty underwhelmed. I was hoping it would look cleaner and like crisper than what it is, but it's not awful. It's just disappointing. Even the Warcraft 3 Reforged, for as much shit as it got, the models looked way better than Warcraft 3 did. Because the Warcraft 3 models looked like shit. I mean, they were choppy before, and now they look pretty clean.
Yeah.
They look pretty clean now. So the Genshin 1.5 updates. So improved security for accounts, which is good. I'm like they had such problems with account security initially, and even now they still have tons and tons of spam posts on the forums, just like say, hey, click this link, you'll get access to the new character, or like more details on the new character. Here's some Primogems, click this link, and they're everywhere. But before, you could just sign up with your I think you could just sign up with your phone number or sign up with just a username, and it kind of halved your level of security if you took the same username on the forums as you have in game, because people like already just like, oh, I know their username, I just gotta, you know, get a password gen and run it for a couple hours and then I'm in. So that was a problem. And there was also problems with I heard from people. I didn't experience this, but if you access the game from different IP addresses, that would be a flag, and it's kind of a false flag, but they would say, oh, different IP, okay, ban. Or like they would assume that account got hacked or was sold or something. But yeah, it's good that they're getting more security though. There's some Inazuma concept art. If you don't follow the leaks, this is very new to you. We've had them for a while. But yeah, leaking is definitely a big problem that MiHoYo has been taking strides to fix. I think the problem, this wouldn't have been much of an issue if Inazuma wasn't leaked so early, because people knew about Inazuma like in 1.2, like even before Dragonspine was announced, people were talking about Inazuma, if I remember correctly. And we've just been waiting to hear more about it, and the patch just seems like it kept getting pushed back. We thought it was going to be, I think we were originally thinking it was going to be a 1.4, and it's 1.5 now, and we're about to hit 1.5, and I don't think it's coming 1.6. It might. It probably will. I don't know. They've been developing it a long time, so I'm really hoping Inazuma's a big place for us to explore, because God, the game's so boring right now. So boring. There is a housing system update, which is going to be massive. They were definitely keeping this. This is the first time anybody heard about this. So they're keeping this heavily under wraps, because this is a huge housing system. I've rarely seen games put a housing system this in depth. This is just like crazy. You can have you get to pick the realm, like the backdrop and everything that your housing is in, and it's kind of like its own separate instance. You have like a little vase or something that you go into, and it takes you to, I think it's a teapot, and it takes you to a your own housing instance. in your world, and you're able to customize that pretty extensively. So you get to choose like the realm it's in. You get to add all the trees, all the rocks, all the walls. Add furniture in, obviously. Do couch, put in a fireplace. You can sit in there and chill. If you want new furniture pieces, there's a vendor apparently that has different furniture pieces for different people. So you're gonna have to like make friends now in Genshin. It really sucks, and you're gonna have to join their world and hope their vendor has the furniture you want.
Ooh, really?
It's gonna be kind of a pain. I can already imagine Discords being made for this.
Sounds worse than Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it reminds me of Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It does, but let's be honest. That sort of house system isn't like a lot of simulation stuff. It's not like Animal Crossing owned that.
Yeah, but I mean, Animal Crossing kind of like nurtured that system from the get-go, whereas Genshin, like the co-op was kind of a little limited, so there wasn't a whole lot of reason to do it. Well, it wasn't for me. I felt like the co-op people sucked, so I didn't want to play with them. But
Now, am I going to say that Genshin is copying Animal Crossing housing system? Like,
maybe Animal Crossing's just copying Genshin. They
I
just
mean,
use a time machine.
Isn't Genshin Impact already copying Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Along with it, and like Immortals Phoenix Rising, that Ubisoft thing that also copied Breath of the Wild.
Like, I'm sure
Well,
they've had other housing systems in other games.
Immortal Phoenix Rising came out after Genshin, so
Right.
Yeah,
right.
well, yes, a little after Genshin, but it still was copying Breath of the Wild.
and saying you're copying a Ubisoft game, I mean, like, come on, nobody's
I
gonna
know,
take
I
that
know,
statement seriously.
Yeah.
Ubisoft
Ubisoft copies their own games.
Breath of the Wild copycats were inevitable. It's just that
Yeah.
because copying Breath of the Wild takes fucking forever. It's only now we start seeing it. Makes sense that we
But
don't start seeing it now.
The Animal Crossing system makes the most sense in Genshin, though, just how Genshin's set up.
Oh yeah, and
it-
they did add in all the other characters and stuff, so I feel like it is.
Yeah.
But,
So right now they're adding a trust system, which just looks like the completely same thing as the reputation system. I don't even know why they renamed it. But they have a trust system, and you're talking to like what I think it was like a beaver or something, or I don't know. It looked weird. It was some weird monster you're talking to. You gain trust with him, and he has new housing recipes for you, and there's going to be a lot of crafting if you didn't already gather that. From what I've heard, they're going to use a lot of materials you didn't think to collect, which is going to be great. You can go back out and collect them. It's going to take hours. It's going to be so much fun. Is it like I heard iron ore is going to get used a lot, and I'm like, I never fucking collect that shit.
Well, like those butterflies that like the mobile players like they just can't catch or something.
Oh yeah, if you don't catch them, like you're gonna be full. If you full sprint past the butterfly, you're like, oh sh, and you got to double back, and it's already gone. You already missed your chance. You got to just run and hit F. But so yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of stuff I'm gonna need to collect. So you have a realm currency, and based on how many furnitures you've placed and how much I guess you've really laid down in your housing instance, it's gonna generate more realm currency over time. So you have like a realm income, and based on the amount of based on the amount of furnishings you have laid down, that increases. And you can spend that realm currency on a lot of good stuff. I think obviously there's probably gonna spend it on more recipes. You can spend it on I think wits and money. You can get more with it. There's a lot of stuff you can buy with it from the looks of it. But yeah, that's about all I've got for housing. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the housing. If you're somebody who gets really deep into that, it's gonna be like it's gonna be an awful edition for you because you'll spend so much time on it. But yeah, the banners that are coming up, the next one is Zhongli repeat banner, unfortunately.
Song Dong.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about this because I got Zhongli, and I don't feel like crossing my fingers hoping I don't roll into him while I try to get Yanfei, because Yanfei is on the banner too. So I'm hoping I don't roll into Zhongli early and I ruin my 5-star pity. I just want Yanfei and I want to stop.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. Yanfei's the lawyer chick, right?
Yeah, she's a lawyer, fire catalyst user. So the only other fire catalyst we've had at this
That's
point
right.
was Klee.
Gender swapped. Yeah.
So this is the first fire catalyst we've had since Klee. So that's cool. She's probably, I haven't really paid much attention to her skills, but she doesn't look like a support. I don't think she is. It looks like
Yeah,
a
it just seems like
damage
a lot
character.
of damage consistent.
Yeah, area of effect
skills,
attacks.
and then they
Yeah.
do bigger explosions or something.
I mean, she looks interesting. She's one of my favorite designs I've seen in a while. Actually, I thought she has a cool design for being the exact same like model as most of the other female characters in the game. She has a cool design. New 5-star character Eula. That will be a separate banner. Eula is a Cryo Claymore user. I've heard she has a similar attack patterns to and skills to Diluc. So if you wanted female Diluc with Cryo Claymore, there you go.
Mm.
But that's pretty much all the Genshin stuff I had. I should have put down 1.5 releases. I want to say it's next Tuesday. Because they had the stream. They usually have the live streams not too far off from when the patch drops. Monday, April 26th. I was pretty close. Yeah, so they usually drop on Tuesdays.
Did that there was like a pink hair girl in the live stream. Is that like a future character coming up?
This is the only live stream I haven't watched, so I'm not 100% sure. Chibi commentator?
I don't want to spoil anything else.
Well, it's a commentator. If it's a commentator, then it's a character that's probably already out.
This one definitely. She like wore white. People are saying it maybe is like the Inazuma art on maybe. But
Interesting.
I don't think so.
I don't
But
know.
she seemed like a neat character design for like the little chibi art style that they were going with.
Yeah. I hope we get a Hu Tao repeat banner. She's like one of the only characters I don't have. I just need Chi Chi and Hu Tao and I'm fucking done.
Billy Churl.
Somehow.
Oh my god, that voice acting.
I'm not a fan of like the characters that use their own like HP to like damage because like
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I gotta top them up. I gotta heal them with my other characters. Whatever.
Yeah, I
Especially
just.
for those, yeah.
that's-
Oh yeah,
that's
Xiao's
why-
like that, right?
See,
Yeah.
that's why you should roll for the Zhongli on the repeat banner coming up, so you can get that big shield to use those HP draining characters. Just pull out the credit card, get you a Zhongli in your kit, boom. There you go. It's well thought out. They release all those HP draining characters and then hit you with the Zhongli banner again. It's all calculated.
I get it.
It's all calculated.
That's not.
Well, that's about it for gaming news. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to chip in here?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Same
I
here.
think I may
Yeah.
get that Pokemon
Yeah.
Snap game, but I'm not super excited about.
I think everybody kind of forgot about Pokemon
I-
Snap.
There's been a few releases that I just have not had the time to do because that I want to get to. Like I will do Nier Gestalt and maybe that Saga whatever remaster.
Oh,
that came
yeah.
out.
Frontier.
Yeah.
I've
I don't know.
I've been too busy for it.
Yeah, this is and also Monster Hunter because time sync game. I just haven't got the time for a time sync game yet. Yeah, all these games that have like come out that's just like I just do not free up the time for it.
Yeah. I mean, I totally get that. Okay, so coming up events, we have Justin's R-rated Lupin movie
Lupin,
watch.
And by the way, these Lupin movies I'm going to show are very R-rated. Okay, so do not bring your
Very.
kids with you. Yes, they
Will it
are.
have
Like
boobies?
there's
It's
there-
like
yes,
Fumiko,
it
Fumiko
will.
boobies.
There's a scene
Or
where
Fujiko.
Fujiko is nude and getting chased by a robot with a monster cock.
I will be there.
Even some of the
What
anime
time? What time is
were,
it?
like, a little bit sketchy.
It's the 7 p.m. next week. But
Okay.
I see you. I know that you guys don't really have time for it because either like you guys are like doing real life things or you're playing Final Fantasy 14 during that time. So.
I'm closing on a house still, so that's been all my
Yeah,
time past couple weeks.
Yeah, that too. So, but yeah, there's all that. You
Great, I
finally
might have to check it out.
you're finally getting a house.
Yeah, I'm finally getting a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
I
like
thought,
6 offers, it feels like
really, I thought
it's
you were
just
searching for a
crazy
new
housing
apartment.
market.
I thought you were searching for a new apartment.
I was initially, but I said I don't want to deal with HOA anymore,
Uh-huh.
and because most of them are awful, and just like you're paying. Most of the apartments and condos I looked at were just really overpriced for just some
Okay.
dinky ass apartment they renovated
Okay.
since the 60s.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, hope the house thing goes well.
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of putting a bow on it at this point, and pretty much done.
Yeah, good. That's good.
And you got your birthday stream coming up, right?
Yep, that'll be on the May 15th. Assuming that my friends or something family don't want me to do something that day.
Right. Okay.
But I'll be showing you guys some of my favorite anime.
Looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that, you know, the May vote is up now, so watch that. It'll still be a while before the Hatsune Miku thing.
Yeah, we've got the May discussion, so go and vote or put your contribution, because I think it just came up today. So I mean, we've still got a lot of time to submit. I actually put one up. You should vote for it.
Which one did you put up?
Put up Barakamon.
Of course.
Because it's Mary May, so I was like, oh, it's a wholesome show for May.
Yes, yeah.
Pretty wholesome.
It's like that for a lot of people.
People were kind of like wanting maybe a lighter, show. So the last month's discussion was Spiral Experiments Lane, and it's a lot.
Yeah,
really talking about
it's a lot to digest.
Yes, there was
suicides and all this stuff. It's like, oh, okay. So maybe something a little bit lighter.
Barakamon.
I won't use this forum to shill for my show. I could explain it and take a segment, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave it fair for everybody else. And June 5th is the Hatsune Miku concert. I'm pretty sure I've told y'all before, but you know, it's a free concert. We're gonna have a Discord live stream viewing with everybody, and you can view it on YouTube and Twitch for free and see the whole set list. See Hatsune Michael. Also, something that came up to me just real quick. There was a Kizuna Ai first US concert like yesterday, I think.
Is that the one with Nyanners in it?
Yeah, which I was like, that was weird feature.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that Kizuna Ai was doing that sort of collaboration with Nyanners and some others.
Out of all the like Western VTubers, I mean, I wouldn't put Nyanners at the bottom for people they would reach out to, but I wouldn't have thought they would reach out to Nyanners for that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Nyanners is the from the ones I pay attention to, at least Nyanners is the biggest one. She's
a big one. I don't really think she has an amazing singing voice personally, but it's not bad. I mean,
like
it's decent.
Heard from her. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was cool. I'll probably see if there's a way I can watch that recording or something, but legally, of course.
Yeah.
Yep, legally.
But thanks y'all for joining us for the 9th episode of the damn podcast. We will have 2 guests joining us next week.
That's exciting.
Guests from another podcast, another gaming podcast. I hope you all will enjoy that.
Okay.
So if you have any questions for them, send them on in.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks
everybody.
Right.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.